Well, this is it's kind of like halftime. I feel like for the day here, we kind of made it through a bunch of stuff. We still have the big room, I guess, coming up, but it's been exciting to be down here to see all the energy around the conference, and a number of our fans out there in the lobby is neat. You know, I get a lot of questions about today and the buildup of today, and I understand this. The way I look at it is this is what we do. We're paid to do, and we deal with the media all the time. It just happens to be more than normal. So I've not put a lot of anticipation or thought into this day, because I've been putting my thoughts into our team. Been in the office watching film, recruiting, and trying to make our team better. But we're excited to be here today.
A lot of people have talked about the headlines you've made this year. Is some of it calculated to get the program some attention? I mean, there's a school of thought that that's true.
Sure, there is. I think as December 1st, when we took this job, had to set out a plan of how we're going to do this and make ourselves really special and get ourselves to be playing at a championship level. And well, you don't play any games at that time of year, and so the best way to build a program is to win. We all know that. Win on the field, and the players will come. Well, we had to figure out, okay, study Tennessee. Well, unfortunately, there's not many Division I players coming from Tennessee. And so we have to be a national recruiting powerhouse if we're going to be able to play with the great teams in this conference. Well, the number one way to do that nowadays is recruiting. And so we had to get our logo out around the country in front of not just the juniors and seniors at the time, but kids all the way down to 9th, 10th grade. And so get them familiar with our players, our staff. And so I was reading Sports Illustrated on the way down here, and there was a good article about how hard it is to recruit in the SEC. And the article was based off of the reason why is because most kids don't want to leave their state anymore. They want to stay around and play for their home school that they've fallen in love with. And so you better do something special if you're going to go get those players to leave home to come to you. And the guy writes in the article, he writes, well, Tennessee's has been the most talked about college football program in the whole offseason. Well, I can't imagine a plan working better than that statement right there, because it's about recruiting. And so we've had great feedback from kids all around the country, from younger kids around the country, coming out already for unofficial visits to see us, because they say something special must be going on out there. For all this talk about Tennessee, to sign the number one player in the country in Bryce Brown, to sign a top 10 class, even though the staff was only together for a month before signing day, was really special. And so people are feeling that energy, and the results have been great.
Do you think the way we kind of built you up, that people almost look disappointed when you give a normal answer? I mean, it's like the look on the face of us, oh man, he just gave me a real average, normal answer. Is that enjoyable?
So that was way too boring for you, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
No, I think, there comes a time and place for everything. And as you put plans together, there's time when there's time to do certain things, there's time when there's others. And, it's getting closer to football time now. And we've gotten ourselves out there, and it's been a great 7 months. I think our 7 months has been beautiful, the way that it's gone, as far as putting the staff together, as far as that first recruiting class, as far as the national attention for recruits for the future, and as far as spring ball. So we're real excited about the future.
Do you feel like you've crossed the line at any point this year since you've taken over?
No, not at all. I think that, a lot of attention gets on the violations. Well, as you guys continue to research and get your violations from other schools, you're not going to see that we're way out there, that we're twice as many as anybody else or anything like that. We're always going to try to find a way to do things better and continue to try to follow the rules. And I made the statement already today. Now, one of our violations that we did that I feel helped us in recruiting, or I feel was pre-planned. We said, we're going to create this violation because this is going to help us in recruiting. I don't think any of it did, and I don't think that anybody can say any of the violations that we had helped us in recruiting.
You talk about image building, and you talk about building the image of Tennessee and what that looks like on a nationwide scale. Do you build an image for like Kiffin? With that said, I think the kind of the perspective of you is kind of like maybe the bad boy, maybe the rugged, the maverick type. Do you kind of build that as you're building the image of Tennessee on a national level?
Yeah, this isn't about me. This is about winning at Tennessee. And every decision that I make on our team, or every time that I talk to you guys and do something, is about us winning at Tennessee, and it's about our future at Tennessee, because that's how we're going to be judged. You mentioned something interesting there, and it brings a story. Just from this week, we had a player in our office, and his mom was in our office, a recruit. And they were from out of state, and the recruit's mom says to me, well, I had a coach at another school tell us, why would you go to Tennessee? They're a renegade program. Okay, so I thought about that for a second, and they said it's a renegade program. They're going to be what Miami used to be. That's what this coach had told this mom. And so I said, well, to me, if I look at a program, I want to know about facts. Okay, and if I want to evaluate whether a school is a renegade program or whether a school has great discipline and their student athletes are doing the right things, I'd look at two major things. I'd say, okay, coach and staff's been there for 7 months, they've had one full semester. What did they do in school? Well, we had the highest scholarship football GPA in 4 years. We had the highest jump of a GPA from the semester before in over 4 years. And then I'd say, okay, well, what are they doing off the field non-academically? What are they doing around the community? We've had 0 rest in 7 months. And so I think when you look at that, I don't know how you can look at a program and say that there isn't discipline there. I think our players have showed great discipline throughout our 7 months of being there.